Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is Restoration Rescue. So last week we came in and we did a lot of the priming. So we got our doors pretty much set up. I do need to take them off because I got to get in the door jambs. Not anything I'm too worried about, but that'll happen in the next couple days, maybe even today. But today we're going to be focusing on something completely different. So there'll be no priming, but unfortunately for Uncle Al, there may be some grinding. So be prepared as we are going to be taking out our fender. And now you may ask, why are we going to be grinding if I'm working on my fender? Well, today is the day we are going to work on trying to put in a fuel door. So this is going to be really, really cool. So let's hop outside real quick and I'll show you the new fuel door. So here we have our new gas door setup. So this is a company called Hagen Street Rods, and this is cool because it doesn't have an actual gas cap. It just has the old fuel door one. You put it in and it'll cut itself off. So this is pretty cool. So this one came and is set up where this comes apart, obviously, and it is not already pre-welded to everything. Now it has this little wishbone, which that'll go on the back of the door, and we have to weld it in. But it came with its own fuel door and setup. So this is something that I've been worried about. So what we are going to do is we're going to set it up this way. So like a normal car, now it's open towards the front of the truck, and you open and close. Now I do have a lot of movement here, and that's because they want to set it up and you set it up for how you want to have it look, and they don't have it completely welded in yet, which that's easy enough. We will weld that back in. So we're going to have a lot of welding to do today and a little bit of grinding to get this thing looking smooth. So because of the way it is, we may have to do some metal work to get it in. Now they do come out with multiple things. And no, I am not sponsored by them. I just think this is going to be a really cool product and make this life easy on this truck, since we went with a rear tank fuel door at a side exit and not through the bed. So here is our door though. We are going to work on cutting it out, making sure it's flat and level so it doesn't look like this, canted or whatnot, and get it squared away. Now they do make multiple versions of this as well. They also make curved versions of this, but their curves are all like this. They don't make any where it's like this, so we're not going to put it on the back. We're going to put it on the side. Now they make this where it sets like this, and this is a flat box or square, or one that is canted down. And the reason we went with canted down is because we are going to be filling normally, and it's going to go right through. Now we will have to do an exit hole here so we don't get any gas sitting up in here if I spill, which I don't plan to, but you never know. So we do have to go get the fender. We are going to cut a hole out of the fender after we line up this door, get that set up, cut the hole, and get this welded in. Then we're going to have to weld this onto the back. We're going to weld this into the back of this as well, probably before we set that up, and re-weld this so everything is centered and everything looks amazing. This is a really cool setup. We also have to weld this on the back because this is going to get welded and kind of like line up the door with the magnet. Now this is cool too because the door, the way it opens is you just push it for close and then it pops open. So that's a really cool feature as well. We'll have to adjust the door on this side as well as there. But this is a really cool setup. I'm really excited. So let's go ahead, get that fender and start lining it up so we can cut a hole. All right, so we have pretty much lined up on that mark or the body line what we want to do and where we are going to have the door. So as you can see, I have a red line here already, and I'm just going to put this down and circle it out. Now it is even, it's 3.5 inches from that line. So we're going to go ahead, cut it out, and start getting this thing set up so we can weld it in. So now we have everything where it needs to be. The cut is perfect and it is set up to get welded in. So I have these little markers here, these magnets holding it in place, and we're just going to start tack welding it and metal beating it in. It is a little bit curved, so we do have to do some work there, but we're going to make this thing look good, get it in and make it look like it's supposed to be there from the factory. So I might mess it up a little bit because the factory wasn't perfect back then either. But hey, we're going to make this thing look as best as I can and get this in. All right, so it is completely in. Now what we need to do is do some metal work on the little door. Get that all squared away, and that will be perfect. So it does come apart, so not a big deal. What we need to do is just do a little bit of body work to get it straight so it looks flush. So let's go ahead, pull out our hammer, and start doing some metal work. So all the body work is done and it lines up pretty well. I did have to grind a little bit on this panel right here to get everything set. Now what we need to do is come back in and I need to weld this piece together. So this is going to be a little bit of a pain just because of how it sits. So I'm going to hold it, weld it, and get this thing in. So literally all we have to do for that nozzle is just screw it in, which is going to be nice because that is like one of the ones, the new style ones where it just has a door. Like it's not an actual spin off. You just push it in and it fits. So we are going to go ahead and get this thing welded in. Now I'm not going to put this in yet because I'm not trying to lose that. But we are going to get that welded in. So just do a couple tacks and then go all around it. So this thing is in and is looking pretty incredible. I'm actually really happy with it. It is perfectly lined up straight. Now it did sink in just a tad. I'm not 100% happy with that, but it's the best we can do as it slightly goes in. I might do a little bit more metal work and a little bit more beading just to see if I can do anything. You can kind of see in here and see the bottom of the filler, but I'm not too worried about that. Sometimes this thing does not want to go all the way up. It did it up until we finished welding, so it just might need to pop off a little bit, but it opens, it closes. We have a gas door now, ladies and gentlemen. So unfortunately I'm the first one to ever do this online. Everybody else just, you know, doesn't show any of the cutting or grinding and kind of talk about it. The one video I did see did all right, but he didn't give a lot of ability to show you what it looked like or how it went together. He just had lines and everything and just jumped through. Not a bad video, still a good video to look at, but this is the first one on a 1963 C10 as well. I'm not 100% sure this door is made for this. I decided to go with square. You can get oval, you can get circular, but I thought the square would look somewhat period correct rather than the other one. So now we're going to have two gas door holes. I really don't want to cover up the other one, but it does come around and look pretty well. I may have to do something about this latch. If I push it, it definitely comes up, but once I put the door down, it doesn't want to do it unless I push really hard. So I mean, if I have to pull it a little bit, I'm not worried. That can be adjusted. We'll work on that, but it did come out really well. So now we have a complete fuel door. So once this goes on, and thankfully I did make sure like 4 times that it was the right fender and I didn't do it on the wrong one. Knowing my luck, that should have happened. But we have this thing all set. It's all grinded up. We need to sand this thing back. We have some cuts when the fender kind of fell in the background. Had to pop out a dent a couple weeks ago in it, we found, but everything looks really well. That thing is pretty straight, looks pretty good. I'm very pumped with it, very proud of myself. Very proud of myself for getting that in. This is just moving us one step closer. Again, I just talked to the exhaust shop. He said next week. So hopefully by next Saturday, I will have it. We had some issues with some pipes. Not a big deal, whatever. But once that comes in, we'll have the manifolds, be able to go back on the truck and be able to drive this thing around. Now, definitely not something we would do today anyway, as it is pouring rain outside. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but we are very pumped to have a gas door now. We are moving along in this project. Next week, we definitely are going to come back and we're going to probably pop the doors off, and we are going to sand back on the primer now, just scuff it up so it's ready for paint. And then we're going to work on trying to paint the interior of the cab next week and try and start getting everything together, because once I paint the interior of that, I can start doing more interior projects to get the interior looking perfect and get it all together. Then we need to paint, clear, and whatnot so that we can get this thing coming down the road again. We will get everything primed out in the next week or two, including the back of the truck, so that'll definitely help. We got a long way to go. Can't wait to see you guys, and we can't wait to get to C10 National, so hopefully this thing will make it again, and hopefully see you there. Hopefully you are subscribed to the channel. If you're not, please do consider subscribing. It really helps us out here at the channel, and smash the like button. Just do it. It really, really helps. And drop a comment below of what you guys are working on or what you think of this door. I'm going to drop the link down for the door down below at their website. Really easy, couple days shipping. It was here, it's in. This thing looks great. And we'll see you guys next Saturday when we continue working on the truck. So we'll see you then.